I don't know who else can relate to this, but there comes a point in time when you get to the age that your parents were when they decided to go ahead and start having children. And then you just wonder, what the fuck were those people thinking? I am a 26, all right? I am a 26-year-old man who works 3 jobs, makes a decent living, saving to go back to get my bachelor's in nursing. I have my own place, I have my own car, I have a decent income, I have savings, I have an emergency fund, I have investments, and I have a girlfriend who also has the same thing. But yet, I still don't think we're ready to welcome a kid into this world. Because yes, even though we can go ahead and have a kid and give them the bare minimum right now, like most of our parents did, I just don't think the bare minimum is right to give to someone. Like, why bring someone on this earth to just struggle with you, to just get by? I'm not participating in that. What the fuck were they thinking? Mind you, my now estranged parents had none of what I have now at my age. Well, I'm not going to talk about my now estranged mother. She's out of the picture because she started having kids at 16, 17, all right? But my now estranged father decided to start having them at the age of 25. Mind you, his frontal lobe is developed. And he has no savings, no investment, no money, no house, no car, no land, just a motorcycle and pocket change, hopping from party to party, looking for vibes and coochie. Wasn't trying to further his education like I am. Wasn't trying to build any type of wealth. Wasn't trying to break any curses. Wasn't trying to make it out of nowhere. Just vibes and hunching. And then he got up one day and said, you know what? I want to have 4 kids in this. A lot of our parents are stupid and we need to just accept it and move on. Like, I would keep saying that. And I don't want to hear, oh, people aren't perfect, they make mistakes or whatever. My now estranged mother told me this story time and time again of how every time she would get pregnant, she would literally have a breakdown on the floor, rolling around. I can't believe this happened. Why have you done this to me? And that man would be laughing, proud, grinning ear to ear because he impregnated her again. Knowing that he doesn't have a dollar to his name. He doesn't even have anywhere for his children to stay. He had to rely on one of his wife's ex-baby daddies to give him somewhere to stay with his kids and his wife. I could not imagine being a 30-something-year-old man having to get down on my knees every night and thank the Lord for my wife's ex. You gotta thank God for a man that knocked up your wife when she was 16 years old. He was in his late 20s, 30s. He decided to knock up such a very young girl. And you have to thank God for him because he is the one allowing you to stay in his family's house because you're his daughter's stepdad. And you have kids with his daughter's mother. I would walk my ass to the nearest hospital and I would pay for an assisted end. What were our parents thinking? Compared to who that man was at the age of 25, I am basically Bill Gates. Like, I can provide a way better life, but it's still not a decent situation to bring a child into. I'm not going to have a kid until I have a big boy career, until I have some decent money saved up, until I know I will be able to provide a college fund, until I know I will be able to help my adult child with their first down payment on a house or an apartment. The kids thing ain't for me, all right? Much less having 4 of them in absolute poverty with no plan. And then that's not even the worst part. It gets worse. Then you're going to make those same kids that involuntarily came into this world, you're going to make them feel like burdens their entire life. And then you're going to blame them for not getting as far as you wanted to in your career that never existed. You're going to blame them for not being able to finish your education, which you never took serious in the first place because why are you getting pricked? You're blaming them for basically not being rich when they are just a consequence of you enjoying bedroom activities way too much and unprotected. Shame. Shame. And then it doesn't stop there, it gets worse. After giving these children the bare minimum, very little attention because you both have to work odd jobs, emotional neglect, very little guidance, you are then going to turn around and say that they owe you the world, and you are then going to think that the wealth should flow up to you. I brought you guys into this world so that you can work and make me rich. I'm playing Russian roulette with your futures, hoping that one of you ends up becoming something that can break the curse. Me, I'm just vibing out, okay? I'm in that coochie, all right? I don't care about breaking no curse. But you, my children, I'm depending on you. And God forbid you have a learning disability or you don't turn out how I expect you to turn out. You don't turn out to be doctors and lawyers, even if I don't contribute to your education at all when you become adults. Or I can't even provide a place where you won't have to worry about paying rent or you'll be able to work and save for school or whatever. I still expect you to blow my expectations out of the roof. And if you don't, I will voice my disappointment in you every chance I get. Because I give you life, so you owe me your life. You were brought here to make my dreams come true. Our parents are stupid. Do you understand what I'm getting at? You think I'm done? That's not the worst part. The even worse part is the way they would chastise and degrade, demean, belittle their adult children for making the most minor mistakes in their adulthood. When they're trying to take on their independence or they're trying to make some type of financial move or something. Any mistake you make, these people make you feel like you're such a stupid person and they would have never made this same mistake. Meanwhile, they've made worse mistakes. I remember that day my now estranged mother was in the hallway saying how stupid I was for coming to Canada, and instead of dating around, I decided to find one woman and settle down at such a young age. So you would have rather me date around, possibly get a couple people pregnant, possibly get some lifelong STDs, possibly ruin my life instead of just finding one good girl and staying with her and building something with her. Instead of being grateful that your son found a gem in a pile of shite, you're here calling him stupid because he didn't weigh his options. What options were you talking about? Mind you, this is the same woman that had a problem with the one girlfriend because she's a Christian and she doesn't think a man and a woman should be spending time together under one roof if they're not married. So what did you think would have happened if I chose to date around? You would have been smelling a different cat every week. I promise you. And that's how I know it's a bunch of bullshit. They just talk to talk. All right? They see you doing better than them and there's a hint of jealousy in there. And because they feel a type of way, they try to make you feel stupid for your decisions. They try to degrade you, demean you, belittle you, all this stuff. Meanwhile, their mistakes were actually life-changing mistakes. Their mistakes were actually curse-passing mistakes. You're basically cursing your children into a life of hardships with the mistakes you made. The mistakes I've made, the reason there's a silence is because I'm still trying to think of mistakes. I'm still trying to think. I haven't really made any yet. Hopefully I don't make any, but I haven't made any yet. So join me today into just accepting the fact that your parents might be stupid and move the hell on.
I need y'all to listen closely because this mindset right here is becoming dangerous. This young man says his parents were irresponsible and uneducated for having kids at his age. He says now that he's that age, he could never bring a child into this world. Let me say this clearly. Your parents didn't raise you in the world you're living in now. They raised you in their time with their information and their reality. Judging your parents with today's lens doesn't make you evolved. It makes you disconnected from reality. Every generation faces uncertainty, wars, inflation, crime, recession, fear. That didn't start with your generation. Calling your parents irresponsible while standing on the life they gave you is wild to me, right? It's wild. And that's what a lot of these youngsters don't understand. It's okay to say, I don't want kids. It's not okay to rewrite your parents as the villain because you're scared of responsibility. Check this out, y'all. Y'all know I always try to keep it real with y'all and give y'all a different point of view. Healing isn't blaming the people who built the foundation. Growth is understanding context. That's real talk. You guys leave me a comment below.